Hello, I am Dr. Pfna2. So today I am going to give you a demo video about the PFN system of Medtronics Neogen AR. So we'll start with the nail first. This is the entry awl for passing the guide wire. So this entry awl is cannulated. Through this you can pass the guide wire. This is a slot. So you can use this guide wire holder and pass the guide wire this way. Okay. Some of them might not be comfortable with this, so you can use a sleeve, and through the sleeve also you can pass this 3.2 guide wire this way, threaded guide wire. So once this threaded guide wire or this ball tipped guide wire is in, the next step is to take this entry reamer, and with the entry reamer you ream over the proximal part of the femur, either this way or this way. Whatever you are using, you can remove with this entry. Entry reamer is usually passed till the level of lesser trochanter for easy passage of the nail. Once the entry reaming is done, so we take a flexible reamer. This flexible reamer is passed over the guide wire, and then in incremental sizes from 9 to 13 it is reamed. So if you are taking a 10 nail, you have to ream till 11, and if you are taking 11 nail, you have to ream till 12 for easy passage of the nail. So this is how the tip is assembled over the flexible reamer. This is a flexible reamer. If you see, the reamer is going over the ball tipped guide wire. So in incremental sizes from 9 to 13, we can ream the canal. So this is how you keep the tip of the reamer. So once this reaming is done, the next step is to measure the diameter and length of the nail. So this is a 130-degree nail. So you have a marking of 130 degree here, and these are the incremental measurements for the diameter of the nail. So this is a 9, this is a 10, 11 and 12. Placed over the femur, and after placing over the femur, then we know the exact diameter of the nail, by which we can get an idea of what nail we have to load. And these are the markings for 170, 200 and 240 nails. And if you are using a long nail, then you have a marking here for 320, 340 up to 440 length. You can measure the length of the nail. So once we know the length and diameter of the nail, next step is to load the nail. So for loading the nail, I will just show you the different sizes of the nails that are available. So these nails have color coding. All the nails with 9.3 diameter will have a blue color tip at the end of the nail. So this is 170 nail, this is 200 nail, and this is a 240 nail. If you can clearly see, there is a blue color marking over the tip of the nail. So this indicates it's a 9.3 nail. All other nails will be totally grey in color. So this jig is universal for all sizes of nails. Okay. So once this is an insertion bolt, and taking a 170 nail. So you have a slot here. Can you see this? This slot. So once the nail is in, I can just tighten the bolt with my finger. This is the hexagonal screwdriver which will tighten the nail inside. So nail is now secure and tight. So next, this jig is loaded onto the insertion handle. There are slots for this. Secure it with this bolt. Next step is to load this butter sleeve inside. If you see, this has a notch, this has a flat surface, and this sleeve also has a flat surface. They have to match equally. Once this is gone inside, you will hear a clicking sound at this button. Demonstrating once again. Once you hear this clicking sound, then next step is to rotate this in a clockwise direction till this sleeve hits the lateral cortex. And this is a trocar for a conformation. This is a trocar for conformation. So once the sleeve is in, next step is to take the 3.2 guide wire and then pass it through the sleeve. This will go into the neck. Once you pass the guide wire till the subcondyle area, next step is to measure the length of the blade. So you keep the measuring device over the guide wire like this way, and whatever marking that you are seeing, take 5 mm less than that. So here I am seeing 105, so I will take a 100 blade. So after measuring the length of the blade, next step is to break the lateral cortex. So this device will break the lateral cortex, and this has a stopper so that it will not advance further into the canal. So if the bone is very osteoporotic, directly after breaking the lateral cortex, we can use the blade. But if the bone is very hard, then use this adjustable drill. And here you can see the markings that are starting from 70 to 120. So if you got a marking of 105 there, you adjust this to 100. If you got a marking of 95 there, adjust it to 90. Next step is the assembly of the blade. So this is the helical blade, which is around 10 point diameter. This is a Tommy bar to prevent derotation while locking it. So this screwdriver is assembled. Then we have to rotate it in a anti-clockwise direction, this way. So now it is ready for banging in. Okay. Once we have loaded the blade, then we can bang the nail. This way. And then rotate it in a clockwise direction, and you can see the compression happening at the blade. I'll show you once again. So this helical blade gives us compression of around 7 mm. Please notice this area. This gives us a play of around 7 mm. So up to 7 mm of compression can be achieved at the fracture site. So before I tighten the nail, you can see there is a play here and here, and I'll show you after tightening how it is seen. So once the blade is inside, we can achieve compression by rotating it in a clockwise direction. Please notice this area. As I am tightening it, we can achieve compression. Once it is fully tightened, there is no movement here. There is no opening here also. Then I gradually remove my guide wire and screwdriver. So next step is to push this button down and remove the sleeve. Okay. So next step is the distal locking. So either you can do it static or dynamic. So you can see the slot. This is for 170 and 200, and this is for 240 nails. Now I will show you the static locking for 170 nail. So for 10, 11 and 12 nails, we use a 4.3 sleeve and 5 mm screw. So because this is a 10 nail, I am using a 4.3 sleeve. So this is a static locking device. This is the drill sleeve, 4.3 sleeve, just going into the nail. So next I will take a depth gauge and measure the length of the nail. So whatever measurement I get here, I will take that screw and then lock it. So the distal locking screws are color coded. For 9.3 nail, we use a 4.5 screw, which starts from 25 to 70, and for 10, 11 and 12, we use a 5 mm screw, again which starts from 25 to 70. So this is how you load a distal screw. Just rotate it clockwise. So this will hold the screw, and just pass the screw through the sleeve and rotate it clockwise. Once the screw is in, you can again rotate it anti-clockwise. Screwdriver is out, the sleeve is out. This is the final assembly of the PFN. There are two types of jigs. Initially I had shown you the static one. Now I am showing you the dynamic mode. So here if you see, there are slots for 170 and 200, and then again 240. If you want to know where the tip of nail is located, you can use this slot and this device, just pass it through this, and wherever it is hitting, that is the tip of the nail. If you find it difficult to pass the nail easily, then you have an attachment to bang the nail in. You are not supposed to bang on the jig. use this attachment. Tighten this attachment with the spanner. So once the attachment is tight, you can gently bang the nail with small taps. So previously I have seen you the distal locking for 170 nails and 200 nails. Now I will show you the distal locking for 240 nails. This is the slot for 240 nail. So this is the distal locking sleeve for 240 nail. If you feel that the length of blade that you have used is short or long and you want to change it, don't directly bang onto the instrument. You have a separate attachment for removing the blade. So just rotate it clockwise. Then you can use this cannulated mallet and remove the blade back this way. So the long nails also start from 320 length up to 440. So next step I will show you the assembly for a distal locking in a long nail. So I have taken a right side nail, length is 380. So this attachment, you see this arrow mark here. So because this is a 380 nail, I will assemble in this slot, 380 slot. So if you see, this is a 380 slot. If it's a right side nail, we have to lock in this jig, and if it's a left nail, we have to lock in this jig. So I have taken a right, so I will lock it in this jig. Next is the anterior attachment. So this is the jig for anterior attachment. You have slots here. Just assemble this jig. So anterior jig is locked. Next, take a anterior stab incision and pass this 5.2 sleeve over it. Then using a 5.2 drill, drill the anterior cortex. Once the anterior cortex is drilled, there are dynamic slots and static slot. This is the dynamic hole and this is the static hole. Once the dynamic screw is in, there is no need to press this attachment. Directly the static screw also will grow very easily, as demonstrated here. So this is a nail extractor. Once you identify the tip of the nail, just rotate this device clockwise till it is firmly locked. Then use this slotted hammer and backstab the nail. This is a blade extracting device. Rotate it anti-clockwise. Once it is firmly locked, use the slotted hammer and